Hi, this is Bobby Brown, and welcome to another fucking podcast.
My liver's all twisted up. But you know what I did? I loaded up with alcohol, more specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Who wants an orange whip? Orange whip? Orange whip? 3 orange whips.
So you're bored, are ya? I've come here to break your monotony. Let me have my piece, because I'm shooting with this one, folks. I don't care, man.
The unscripted, uncensored, loose cannon of commentary.
Why did you say that? Why? Why? You come out with stink like that? Poop. Your poop mouth. Poop out of your mouth.
See, son? Old legends never die. They just lose weight.
Like a legend and an out-of-work bum look a lot alike, Daddy.
I've got a midget friend, an albino friend, and another friend who thinks Lord of the Rings is real. Together we call ourselves the Unfuckables.
Baton is in. Let the fun begin.
Body touch.
God, you're an asshole, man.
I've never heard of it.
Hello, Hollywood. Hello, world. Hello, my loyal minions.
Hello, Izzy.
Hello, Paul Gargano. Hello, Paul Gargano. Oh, my God, King. He's here. He's here, King. My God, Paul Gargano is in the house, King. Welcome
I like
back,
that.
good sir.
Yeah, I even showered, like, to prove that I showered for the first time in 5 weeks. I even left my hair wet.
Oh, nice. That's probably the only thing you've gotten wet in 5 weeks. Hey. Oh, that
Sadly,
is.
that's true.
That is worth a Pat Fontaine laugh. Thank you, myself. Thank you very much. Make sure you guys hit up all the social media at Real Izzy Presley all the way across the board, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Metal Edge Magazine on Facebook and Instagram. Paul Gargano on Instagram and the Twitter machine. And make sure you hit up at Another Effing Podcast on the Facebook page. And the title says Metal Edge Magazine's Another Effing Podcast. Make sure you like that, because if you do not, you will not get the link later in the show when I post this Zoom link, and you all get to join the show and ask us questions. And we'll get to all that later on in the show. Great show a couple weeks ago. I think that was the last one we did, or I did at least, was Joel and Mr. Kotzen.
Kotzen.
Yes. So question of the hour. Do I need a drum roll for this? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna hold on. Let me dig up my drum roll, because I think we need the drum roll for where Paul Gargano has been. All right, liners, intros. Let's see. Not those. Sound bites. Here is this. And what the fuck is it in here? Yeah, no. Oh, here it is. All right. Let's pull this. There, let's pull this.
This is a lot of buildup for something that's really not that exciting.
Yeah. Oh, I know where I can replace it. There we go. Right here. Drum roll. I can replace the Kotzen interview from last week. All right, here we go. Where has Paul Gargano been?
I had the big C. I got the COVID. It was ugly.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Obviously,
yeah, you've known that, yeah, but it wasn't good. I didn't have to get hospitalized, thank God. But it was rough. It was. Let me tell you, I would not wish it on anybody. I'm still feeling a little off, but this could last for a while now. So, but I'm street legal now. I've tested negative a couple times, and I basically every day I feel like I think I said this to you before, like every day now I feel like I had a little bit too much to drink the night before, but not enough to get a hangover.
Yeah. Oh,
we're all familiar with that. You know what I mean? It's like that. Yeah. Or for the coffee drinkers, I feel like I just all day, I feel like I still need my first cup of coffee. But sadly, one of the real bad things about having it when I got rid of my taste and my smell, I never got the taste for coffee back. So I still like coffee just sounds horrible to me. So I have not had coffee in like a month and a half.
Wow. I think your computer got the vid too, because you're kind of freezing up.
My computer did?
Yeah, your video is freezing. Yeah, I can still hear you loud and clear, but the video is freezing for some.
You know what? I just got a thing that said I'm unstable.
Well, I mean, we
I
knew
needed my
that.
computer to tell me that. Right? I did not need my computer to tell me I'm unstable. Is it still freezing up, or are we?
It's choppy, but you're there.
You know what might work? Oh God, this is gonna kill me. But if I turn off my MLB TV feed in the background and can't watch the Yankees get their ass kicked by the Toronto Blue Jays, the constant demise of my fantasy baseball teams.
On behalf of Minnesota Twins fans everywhere, fuck the Yankees.
Yeah, well, you know what? I have Josh Donaldson in one of my baseball leagues, and he didn't even make it through the first inning. So you know what? Do you want to? I can let one of those go too. All right, there. MLB is not draining off my internet right now, so we should be a little bit better.
It's still a little slow, but I mean, you are a little slow.
I am a little slow.
Oh God, the chat room is popping already. Lori, the Kela Koala, says, "Wow, you found Paul." Jacobus, fuck yes, Presley, you cunt. Thank you, I appreciate that. Jeffro Lee Roth, keep him coming, bartender. Whoa. He also says, "Damn, Paul, hope you're feeling better soon and full recovery." Johnny Morosco, Paul, you sound good. Glad you're feeling better. So, hey, you're getting some love.
Yeah, a little bit of love. I'll take a little bit of love.
You've been dealing with this COVID shit for God, what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
It was
now?
Yeah. So basically, it. On a Monday morning, I woke up and I felt shitty. I thought it was. I'm like, oh, it's sinuses. That was the 8th. On the 9th, I felt a little bit better. So I'm like, oh, it's just sinuses. And then on the 10th, Wednesday, when I woke up, I had like the body aches and the chills about, and I had the sinuses back again. And then that night, I told Rika, I'm like, I got to test because this doesn't feel right. Mm-hmm. I tested on Thursday, got the positive back Friday. So like the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The Friday the 12th was when I tested positive. And the crazy thing is, through all of it, Rika never tested positive. She never got it. We quarantined pretty well. Like I want to, like, maybe for the podcast one week, we can light my couch on fire in my backyard because I'm so sick of sitting on the damn. I literally slept for like 6 days straight. And but I'm so sick. And the couch, I'm not a small guy, for those that don't know. Ass print
in body stature, at least.
My ass print in the middle of the couch is just like, there's literally a sag in the middle of the couch from where my ass was for the last like 4 weeks when I didn't get off of it. But yeah, so it was like about a week and a half, really, really bad. And then it was just trying to shake it and make sure it didn't relapse. So
well, I'm not surprised that Rika didn't test positive, because she's kind of a negative person,
It's crazy. It's weird how it works out though, because a bunch of people come out of the woodwork and I got it too. And it's so crazy how girlfriends and wives aren't getting it and guys are, or vice versa. Like the guys don't get it. It's the craziest thing for me, having had it and having gone through this, is just how insanely unpredictable the virus is. Like you could literally be surrounded by people who have it and not get it. Or like, I know how I got it, and it was really a fluke. I got it from somebody, but they were asymptomatic and didn't know they had it. It was like it's just such a fluke, and it's kind of scary. That's why it's as bad as it is. And I've had doctors tell me, like, half the people that get it don't even know they have it, and that's why it spreads so badly.
Yeah.
Like, at least if you knew you had it, you're fine,
Yeah, right. Well, look, I'm starting to think that it's sexually transmitted, because especially married people, the husband's getting it, the wife's not getting it, or vice versa.
It stands to reason it's sexually transmitted.
Exactly. And it's me. So obviously it could be sexually transmitted, because I've never gotten it. So
I'm just trying to think of who's fucking me that I got it. Besides life in general lately. What the heck? But yeah, no, that was And then, of course, in the Monday when I was in really bad shape, I was waiting for a call from the Department of Health because they have to do the whole screening thing and everything. Yeah. I'm waiting for a call from them, and my phone rings at like 8:30 in the morning on that Monday right after. So it would have been like the 15th. And I'm just like, oh, that must be, I'm getting that little unstable sign again across my, I'm like, that must be the Department of Health. And I answer it, and it was it was Glenn LaFurman, who was a photographer and a friend of mine. He was a photographer from Metal Edge, telling me that Gerri Miller died. And I was just like, oh God. So it's been it was a rough it was not a fun month of March.
Well, look, apparently it wasn't fun for the listeners either, because Mike Gottlieb commented on the original post, said nice, you guys have a good chemistry. These last 3 weeks were not the same. Even though I did like your interview with Todd Latore. So, well, thank you.
I gotta say, I'm a little bit bitter that you interviewed Todd Latore and I wasn't able to be a part of it. But hey,
yeah. Look, you're gone for a week, and I finally get I finally get up on Blabbermouth again. So there you go.
We'll have to say something controversial. We'll see
there you go. Hold on, Bruce checking in from Canada. Says that's because once married, wives don't go near their husbands. Okay.
I don't know that I could argue with that. She's not listening. I don't know.
Well, we're glad you're on the mend. We're glad you're alive, and we're glad you're back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Good to be back.
And you did mention, and that's what was painful. One of the most painful things is that Gerri did pass away, and you weren't here. You weren't able to be here for that episode. And I still think that we should do what we talked about.
Yeah.
And I think the way that I brought it up is I think it's a really cool way to do it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was, it was difficult. And I've been on a bunch of podcasts as a guest over the last year. And
now we lost your audio.
So it was like, Gerri and I didn't end on good terms. So It wasn't, we tried reaching out a few times with an olive branch, trying to like make things better. And she wasn't interested. So, it's just, I hate, sorry, my phone keeps ringing. Okay. It was really difficult because you don't want to see someone go like that and not have a chance to like take care of. I never had an issue with her. She had the issue with me. And I really it was kind of my fear that at some day something like this would happen and we wouldn't have reconciled. But, she was a huge, huge part of my life. She gave me an opportunity that quite frankly changed my life. I mean, I'm not to say, I definitely earned the opportunity, but without Metal Edge, I don't know what I'd be doing today. I'd probably be at a major daily newspaper or something. It wouldn't have been the same, I'd have been writing about Justin Timberlake just as much as I was writing about Iron Maiden. So
right. And you wouldn't be stuck with me.
Oh, I don't know. We probably would have found each other somehow.
Yeah, it was fate.
But yeah, it's crazy because she had a huge influence on my life, obviously, and it's a shame. It's a shame that we didn't have that relationship towards the end. But
do you remember the last time you talked to her?
Yeah, it was after she left the when she left the magazine, which is a gray area between quit and fired. Yeah. She called me and said she was leaving the magazine and she expected me to leave with her, but before the owner fired her or / got her to quit, whatever, however anybody wants to interpret it. We know there's two, but he told me ahead of time. Are you there?
Yeah. Okay. And now you're better.
What?
Now you're better.
Oh, I'm better now? Okay. Yeah.
Sounds better and it looks better. Well, as better as you can look.
Hey. But so what happened, the owner called me in before he had the conversation with her and said, by the time I'm off the phone with her, she's not going to be running the magazine anymore. Do you want the magazine? And obviously I said yes.
Yeah.
And there was no misgivings between Gerri and I. She knew all along. I wasn't doing it to like be the managing editor forever. I was doing it because I hope to somehow take over the magazine someday and just honestly do for the magazine what she did for the magazine and keep it going strong. So she shouldn't have been surprised that I said I was going to stick around.
Yeah, right.
She definitely wasn't happy.
So she basically felt like you stabbed her in the back.
I don't know that I stabbed her in the back, but she expected me. I definitely didn't stab her in the back because I had nothing to do. I really had nothing to do with her getting fired or
right.
But she definitely, I think she felt a little betrayed. Like she thought that out of loyalty, like I think she felt like I had some loyalty to her, that I would follow her and join the unemployment line with her, which just didn't make sense. I mean, it's that was a smart move.
Right. Well, and let's
and to be fair, without like pulling skeletons out of the closet, she kind of made her bed at that point. I mean, she was having, and I've talked about this before too, she was having problems with the owner, and ironically 5, 6, 7, however many years, it's probably 7 or 8 years later, I had the same problems with a new owner. It's just the cycle of business. It's the cycle of it's the cycle of how things work. And the same exact problems she had with Alan, I had with, I don't even remember the other guy. John was his name, like the other owner. So it was like, I ended up leaving under the same exact circumstances she ended up leaving under. And it was, it's not, business isn't personal, it's just, it's business.
Yeah, exactly.
And in my position, I was in my early 30s at that point. What was I supposed to? I might have even been late 20s. When did I take over? I was born in 71, 81, 91. Yeah, I was late 20s, early 30s when I started at Metal Edge. So I was probably early 30s when she quit. Like, you can't, that's a career move at that point. Like, you're not just going to quit your job and be unemployed because somebody else put themselves in a bad situation.
Yeah, it's not like she was moving on to Playboy and she's like bringing you on to offer you
exactly. It's not like she got offered a job at Rolling Stone and said, "I want you to come with me." She was leaving and wanted me to go unemployed. I'm like, I can't do that. Like that was, and there was never, "Hey, this is what we'll do." It wasn't like, "Hey, here's a plan." She was just like, "I expect you," and I was just like, "Well, I'm not going to." So that was it was tough, but like I said, she was we were super close. She gave me shit about my girlfriends. We were very involved with each other's lives. It was a really good relationship until it went south. And it's always sad. It's really sad.
Well, she did leave a legacy, because what she did, I mean, I talked about it a little bit on that episode. It's like, fuck, I don't know if I'd be doing this if it wasn't for fucking Gerri Miller.
And that's the thing. It's like she created something that honestly changed music. It really did. And it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I'm really not. I mean, a lot of those bands, I remember Butch Rika showed me something. Again, I was dealing with COVID this whole time, so she was like showing me things. I wasn't online, but she showed me something Butch Walker wrote. And I mean, look, Butch Walker, South Gang were in Metal Edge all the time, and like honestly, she made bands like that. She basically gave bands like Trickster a forum, and it was Warrant, like all those bands. I mean, it was basically, there was nobody else doing what she was doing, and she really, for a generation, gave them a voice, and she did a good job of it. And towards the end, the voice had to change a little bit. I mean, it was just, it wasn't the same when we had Korn and Marilyn Manson and all these other bands, and Warrant and Poison. There had to be a meshing of the two, and she wasn't very comfortable with that. And it was also, the internet was starting. Everything was just a little bit different, and it all all that stuff came into play. And I also think she kind of, I don't think she was that, and I don't know because we've never talked, but I think just like when I left Metal Edge, I wasn't upset at all that I left Metal Edge. It was just, you know what? I had a great decade with the magazine. The new owner is an asshole. He's going to run it into the ground. I don't want my legacy to be part of running something into the ground. And I did my best for a decade, and it's time to move on. And that was it. And I kind of feel like that's how she was too. I would have liked to have thought that part of her reason for moving on was knowing that the magazine was going to be in good hands with me.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, look, everything I do, I'm one of the owners of the magazine now. We're doing the podcast. Everything we do is partially because of her, because she created the name, and it's now we're keeping it alive. And that's kind of what I really wanted her to have, an opportunity to be able to speak for Metal Edge again before she couldn't. And I'm a little sad that didn't happen, but as I've told you, I haven't given you details yet, but there's some huge things in the works with Metal Edge, like really huge things, colossally huge things with Metal Edge happening. And her kind of spirit will live on. It's going to be, and I'm making it very personal that we do really stay true to what she saw at the beginning, as well as what I saw when I took over. If that makes sense.
And I guess, I mean, not to, assume anything, but it's like, I kind of think that this, this forum right here, this show, this is kind of like the beginning of the new Metal Edge, because up until you put that logo on this show, which I still can't believe I get to put that fucking logo on my show. I mean, Metal Edge was there. It was just there.
Yeah.
Not really doing anything with it. It's just there as an entity waiting to be soiled by a guy by the name of Izzy Presley.
Well, no, and that was part of this stuff. I mean, we've had Metal Edge for, I think, 6 years now. We've owned the magazine. And it never worked out. Something always got in the way of us doing what our bigger plan was for the magazine. And then, good problems to have. My management career took off, and all of a sudden it was like I didn't have time to be like, okay, let's relaunch a magazine, because I'm managing bands, and music's my passion. I love managing bands. I love that. I love everything about it. I still love Metal Edge. So it basically, honestly, great things that came out of COVID. I mean, you and I got to know each other during COVID. This whole thing happened over COVID. And honestly, COVID enabled me, because my bands were off the road, and touring is such a huge part of management, because my bands were off the road and I wasn't devoting all this time to tours, all of a sudden I had time to start devoting to Metal Edge again. And it really, COVID kind of proved to me that I could find time for Metal Edge and management and do them both well and give them respect. And you were doing such a great job with your podcast. I thought it was a perfect way, this is a great way to move the Metal Edge name forward, just incrementally. You know what? You're doing if I can come in and we can get some bigger interviews, if I can come in and we can kind of take it up to the next level and use the Metal Edge name for that and push the Metal Edge, it's great for both of us. Because, as I've told you many times, you deserve a bigger platform, and let's do it.
Or in the words of the great Emeril Lagasse, kick it up another notch.
Exactly.
Jeffro Lee Ross says, I enjoyed Metal Edge for many years growing up. It was fun. It was a fun read, and my friends would even flip through off my coffee table. Yeah, I think R.I.P. Gerri, but Paul's a good dude. Love to hear more Metal Edge history from him. Scotty's here. Scotty from Canada. Says Metal Edge helped me decorate my lockers for many, many years with all my favorite rockers. And you can tell he's Canadian by how he spelled favorite.
O-U-R.
Yep.
I-T-E.
Yep. Lori says Family is personal, business is business. And poor Metal Edge is stuck with Izzy now. Yep. Jeffro also says, very curious about the new Metal Edge news on the horizon. We cannot talk about that.
I can't talk about it.
I don't even know about it. I mean,
no, Izzy doesn't even know. I just told Izzy something big is happening. That's all I told Izzy. But it's good. It's going to be a good announcement when it comes.
Yes, absolutely. First half of the show brought to
it's going to surprise the shit out of a lot of people, and it's really good. And before it happens, someone's got to help me figure out why does my light just fade in and out? Can we figure this out? Do we know why?
I don't know. Maybe like I said, maybe your computer's got the COVID. I don't know.
No, it's not my computer. It's the light above me.
Oh, it's the ghost. It's the ghost.
It's
It's
the
the
ghost
ghost.
playing with the lights.
The ghost is playing with the lights.
See?
First,
See what it just did?
oh no! So I was looking at the chat room. First half, yeah, I see it because
Yeah, there you see.
yeah, there I saw it. First half of the show brought to you by Beater Amplification. That's 2 E's beateramplification.com. 100 watts of testicular fortitude. Pull 2 tubes. You got yourself 50. Hand wired, hand built. These things are so badass. Beateramplification.com. Hit them up on the Facebook as well and give them a like. And our good friends over at Mackie. Oh, yes, Mackie. Got this beautiful mic. You want to get into podcasting because there's not enough podcast yet. If you want to get into home recording, hit up our good friends. Seriously, if you want to get into home recording, because, you know, everybody should be able to record a record at home and put it out as well. Which I'm not even talking shit about that. I think you should be able to share your art with the world. Hit up Mackie and hit up the studio bundles, MECKIE. And a quick shout out to my good friend DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. Got me hooked up with the DDPY app, and we are going to see my transformation. Not all on one episode, because that would be a true miracle, but I'm back on the DDP yoga. And
when you say you're back on, were you off it for a while? Were you on it before?
Yeah, I was on it for, I don't know, about 6 months, about 5 years ago. And then I tried to get back into it. Then I'm fat and lazy, so I stopped. But now, you know, I
don't consider myself exceptionally fat, and I don't consider myself exceptionally lazy. The problem I have, because DDP sent me back when I lived in New York. So I moved here in 2000. I moved to LA in 2001. So like 2000-ish, DDP sent me the CDs because I was having back issues, and Jericho was just like, "Oh my God, I'll hook you up." And DDP sent me the CDs. And I never did it. And then it turned into, then it was the app. And Chris was like, you should do the app. It's for me, I've got to carve the time out. And that's like the biggest thing.
I just
like making that time commitment every day, but I get stuck. It's like, it's part of the curse of managing bands. It's just like one phone call turns into 9 phone calls, and 10 a.m. turns into 7 p.m. I mean, Rika and I eat dinner at like 9:30 every night. Like do I have time to squeeze in a half hour of anything?
That's why I'm going to start getting up a half an hour early and doing it before I do everything else, you know? It's funny you say that. Yeah, we eat dinner late. The other night I drove up to I had to drop somebody off up in fucking Oxnard, and I was texting you on the way back.
Yeah.
Voice to text.
Okay. Yeah, that's why they make so much sense.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't make sense when I'm typing it anyways. And I'm like, well, all right, cool. Well, I got an hour drive here. So if you want to call now, I was like, well, we're eating and I go to bed early. Like, what the fuck happened to you? The COVID rot your brain?
It was the craziest. Well, here's the thing. So when I was on COVID, when I had COVID, I was sleeping all day. I mean, it was the nice thing about it was I was pretty much able to sleep through a lot of it. But then at night, it was the worst at night. So I would sleep all day, and then at night I'd be awake with like really bad headaches. So I watched Better Call Saul. You know what I mean? Like I just would pick shows and watch shows at night. Then as I started to get better, I just started getting up earlier. And it really happened once because I was sleeping on the couch, and it's just not 6'4", weighing 215. It's not comfortable on a couch. And I was on the couch. The minute I tested negative twice, I apologized to my wife and I moved back into the bed. So that was, and then as soon as I moved into the bed, it was amazing because I was never getting like more than 2 or 3 hours of uninterrupted sleep on the couch because I would shift. And then they're like building a house across the street from us. So at 8 a.m. you start hearing the construction, and it was just like, oh. So like as soon as I made it back to the bed, I'd get 4 hours of uninterrupted sleep and I'd be wide awake. So I'm like up at 6:30 in the morning, up at 7 in the morning. And that was what literally I just kind of like shifted into a morning habit, which I'm not complaining about, but
coffeeless.
By about 11:30 at night, we're both just kind of half falling asleep,
Yeah. You know what we should talk about? Because I mean, there's a lot of news and happening since since you have gone under the vid. shows are getting announced. Shit's announced that it's opening up. You, as you know, being on the management side of music, I mean, what are you hearing? I mean, what's going on?
I mean, right now it's exciting because we're all hopeful. You know, I mean, here in
Right.
California is at the ass end of everything when it comes to this stuff because
Yeah.
I mean, they've politicized everything out here at this point. But we're being told here in California that June 15th we could be 100% open, which would be amazing. You know, I've talked to a couple promoters personally, and like we're booking a drowning pool tour for fall. Like we're looking,
Nice.
it's 5-6 weeks. We're pretty much going to be able to do it. And we're starting, all my bands now are starting to look at the road. Like here in California, if June 15th they say we could be at 100%, like we could start having shows, like there could start being shows at the Whiskey, multiple shows a week at the Whiskey again, by like mid-July. I mean, it could be really good. I mean, the problem is we're all still a little bit apprehensive. I mean, vaccinations are the key to everything, because when you see these spikes, the liability for these venues, I mean, I keep telling everybody, and I know a lot of people have political reasons for not wanting the vaccine. A lot of people just have medical reasons. They're afraid of it. But ultimately, and this Johnson & Johnson news doesn't help. But I keep telling everybody, vaccines are the key, really, because as soon as the spread stops, we can go back to 100%. And the problem is a lot of these venues, some of the contract offers I'm getting and I'm looking at, they all have all these COVID contingencies in them. And it's really difficult for a band to tour when they don't know if a show is going to get pulled out from under them for now. And I'll use a band like Drowning Pool as the example without getting into specifics. But you know, if you're playing, the goal is to play 6 nights a week. Okay. So if you're playing 6 nights a week, and you have to pay for your expenses on the road and everything, you have an airtight budget at that point. So when we send a band out, my job in conjunction with the business manager is to make sure that our budget is airtight. So the minute you lose one show out of that budget, it screws up everything, because you don't realize how tight everything is. So it's really a big risk to go out on the road this quickly, because if a couple clubs have problems, if there's an outbreak at a club and they have to cancel shows, if you lose 2 or 3 shows on a tour, you're upside down financially. Everybody loses money, and you know, nobody wants to lose money when they go out on the road. It's okay, you know, okay if you're in your 20s and you're in a van and you're doing it to break, but once you've gotten big enough where you have a family and you have everything else, you're not going out on road to break even. You need to make money. That's how you make your living. So part of the concern now is if enough people don't get vaccinated and we keep seeing the resurgences that we're seeing in places like Michigan, bands aren't going to be able to tour even if they have the tours scheduled. So everybody's cautiously optimistic at this point. You know,
it's so weird how this fucking works, because Michigan is still pretty much locked down, but yet, you know, Texas Rangers have a full fucking baseball stadium and there's no explosion.
I've been watching baseball baseball's in the background all day lately, because there's
the Rangers are 100% full.
I haven't watched a game out of Texas yet, but I've been watching. Like I just saw the Padres. I had the Padres game on earlier, and I happened to look up and saw their COVID stuff. They've apparently got vaccination sections where if you can prove you've been vaccinated, or you could prove you have a negative test within 72 hours, you're allowed to sit without all the spacing and the distancing. Otherwise, all the seats are socially distanced, and they're at 30. San Diego's at 33% capacity or 35% capacity. The Dodgers, I know, are limited capacity. It's harder to, it's easier for me to go to a game in Texas than it is to go to a Dodgers game, because as you know, we live I think you're even closer to the stadium than I am, but I'm 6 miles from Dodger Stadium, and it would take me an hour and a half to get there with rush hour traffic. I mean,
exactly. Well, I mean, that's the one good thing about COVID is the Dodgers traffic has been destroyed, you know? And it's the one thing that I've loved over the last year is no Bull traffic, no Dodger traffic, and just no now the fucking traffic is busted through the wall like the fucking
I was going out to the studio with one of my artists last week, and I had to go out to Tarzana. That's where the studio is. And I was literally, I think I was on the phone with you for part of it, just like
Yeah, you were.
traffic. I'm like,
You were.
we get so spoiled by like having nobody on the road. I mean, when I did early in COVID, like June, July, August, I wrote a book with Perry Farrell. That's so if anyone has his box set, the new box set, I wrote the book that's in the box set with him. And so I would go to Perry's house every day for like 3 months. Perry lives in Malibu, like right off the water. He's not on the water, but he's like,
Right.
you can see the water basically from his street. That would normally take close to an hour to get to. And I was able to leave my house and be in his driveway in like less than 25 minutes every day.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would be on the 10 and I wouldn't even see another car,
Yeah.
which was just like, wow. And
Yeah.
that was
Oh,
the
it
part
was
of it, when everybody was scared to leave the house. It was
Yep.
just like,
Man, when you can drive up the PCH on a Saturday afternoon with no traffic, it is the most glorious. Now it's like fucking, it's gridlock again. And it's just,
and people, the biggest problem, honestly, I don't even have a problem with the traffic here as much as the fact that people here don't know how to drive. Like everywhere I've lived, there's been traffic. Look, LA traffic, like to anyone that hasn't been here, everyone's like, oh, traffic stinks. Well, been here, you don't know really what you're talking about to start with, but I've lived all over America. Traffic in Chicago is just as bad as traffic in LA. Traffic in New York is worse than traffic in LA. The difference here is people don't know how to drive. They are on their cell phones. They're doing their makeup. Driving is the secondary act when they're behind the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is you can't just sit in traffic like you can in New York or Chicago, and at least it's safe. Like in LA, you got people cutting in and out. And it's literally, pot's legal here. You got people smoking out the window.
Yep.
It's a shit show on the roads out here.
Yep.
That's the biggest problem.
You don't know.
Unless you're from like a small enough city where the rush hour isn't horrendous.
Yeah.
Every city's got bad traffic. It's just
right. But I mean, like, it's like, fuck, you don't know where anybody's going because they don't use their fucking signals.
Yeah.
They turn right, but they turn into the left lane. And if they turn left, they turn it so you can't turn right because you're gonna get fucking hit by this moron turning into the wrong lane. Then they get mad at you because you tried to turn into the correct lane.
Yeah. Oh, it's insane.
In the words of the great Mike Dawson, all 10 middle fingers.
Did you see the story the other day on it was on TMZ? It was probably all over, but I saw the TMZ story. It was last Tuesday. It's definitely worth looking up because they have video footage of it. This woman, and it happened like literally half a mile from our house. This woman just basically started screaming, "Who wants to die?" out her window and pulled a gun out and was firing her gun out her son.
Holy shit.
It's just like people are out of their freaking mind. She's yelling, "Who wants to die?" And then she gets over her "Who wants to die?" and starts yelling, "And the cow jumped over the moon. I was telling people the cow jumped over the moon." And she's firing a gun out the sunroof. I'm like, oh, this is the problem in LA. That's the problem in LA.
Oh my
people
God.
like that behind the wheels of cars.
Oh my God. All right, Paul, let's do this. I'm going to post right now in the Facebook page. You can find that at Another Effing Podcast. So if you are listening to this live right now, now
we're gonna find out if we have any listeners.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be Lori and Scotty sitting in here for like 2 hours, and then we'll be off the air. It'll just be those two. All right. So I am putting this up now. Join us with your questions and comments via Zoom. So basically, I mean, people have been listening for how fucking long. If you have comments, questions about like past episodes, past Drunken Summits, you disagree with me. I don't know why you disagree with me, but there's a lot of people that disagree with me in these fucking Drunken Summits.
If anyone knows, for example, why Snell was pulled in the first inning of the Padres game this morning, I would love to know that. Like, if anyone wants to talk baseball, feel free. Baseball, AEW, I got it. We can cover it all. I'm completely caught up with AEW. That's the other thing. COVID gave me the opportunity to catch up on wrestling, so I know exactly what's going on. I don't watch WWE, but I watch AEW religiously. So that's
nice. Join us and ask. posted under my regular profile, so it just went on the wall. Ask questions, and this way I can share it as well, live on the show. Okay. So basically how this is work, if you do pop in, just pop in and ask your question, hang out. And if there's, if there's somebody else waiting, we'll bounce you and then, get to the next person. We'll see what happens here. This is, I've done this once before.
Experiment.
It is, I have done this once before. And there was just no rhyme or reason to it. It was just people were just hanging out. Hey, Izzy, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. What's going on? It's like, well, I mean, this is a fucking radio show.
Well, to be fair, we were hoping to have a certain guest tonight. And just to be blunt, I was told that it was going to happen, and then the publicist never got back to me with the times with an approve. So like literally today we were like, Izzy had a couple last minute ideas, and I was just like, in the shape I'm in, I don't even want to like try to do an interview with somebody and not be researching, or I'm going to be like an idiot. If I'm in that mode, I can, but just somebody, if I haven't even listened to somebody's new release, it's not fair to interview them.
Right.
So what if we just, like, the two of us can handle this?
Exactly. It's a catch-up session, I mean, fuck, you've been gone for a month, and now it's a chance to, get caught up on everything. And there you go. All right. Now I can share this. We're going to go to break. Hold on. Type this, join us live on the podcast. Ask questions. This is producing at its finest, folks. Zoom. All right, and I will tag you in this as well.
Does that mean I have to go on my social media, or could you just like?
Oh, I just tagged you. It's
all right. So people will see it.
I'm afraid if I put it out on Twitter, we'll just get some random freakazoids joining in that have no idea what the hell's going on. They just want to be.
Isn't that could be fun?
That's a good point. All right, hold on. Why not?
The crazier the better. We got this.
On another effing podcast. Come on in and ask a question or comment.
And don't worry, it's clearly, I'm looking at my hair in this. It's clearly not a fashion show, so nobody has anything to worry about. I don't know. It's so crazy. Here's the other crazy thing. This was all like at the start of COVID, my hair was like short, like that long. Like that's the other good thing that came out of COVID. It got me to grow my hair out again.
There you go. All right, now, okay. Just one more fucking time, because I posted on my fucking ACK account. Producing at its finest, folks. This is why I make the big bucks. All right, join us live on the podcast. I'll tag you in this one at Paul Gargano. Now. Okay. Bada bing, bada bang. All right, here we go. We are going to go to break. We'll come back and we'll keep talking shit. And Greg, we just put the Zoom link up. So if you have a question or comment you want to ask on the show, we'll be right back in 2 minutes and 2 seconds. It is another fucking podcast. My name is Izzy Presley. It is Metal Edge Magazine's another fucking podcast. Got to get used to saying that. It's so fucking weird to me. Paul Gargano is with me as well, because he is Metal Edge Magazine.
It's been a long time since we've rock and rolled, but that all changes this August as Rockin' Pod returns to Nashville. This annual convention brings together rock artists, fans, and podcasters for an unforgettable rock experience. Special guests this year include Billy Sheehan, Ron Keel, Don Jameson of That Metal Show, and current and former members of Winger, LA Guns, Accept, and more. Stage panels, signing sessions, and photo ops will be available, plus lots of vinyl and memorabilia vendors. Music podcasters from all over North America will be appearing on site for live interviews, speaking sessions, networking, and more. Got a music podcast? Register and join us. Rockin' Pod Weekend kicks off with a pre-party featuring former Tesla guitarist Tommy Skio and his new band Resist and Bite, making their debut performance, as well as a rare hair set featuring surprise guests performing all-time classics. Rockin' Pod Weekend takes place August 6th through the 8th in Nashville, Tennessee. Tickets, VIP passes, podcast registration, and discounted hotel rooms are available now at rocknpod.com. Rockin' Pod is brought to you by DBG Productions, Bradley Entertainment, and Inceptia.
Vinny Tortorich here. Hey man, if you're a fan of Izzy, you might be a fan of me too. I'm the guy that gets people to lose a lot of weight. I have something free for you guys. This is no clickbait. Just go to VinnyTortorich.com and there's a big banner. It's a free PDF, how to lose weight. It's an intro guide to NSNG at VinnyTortorich.com. Go check it out exclusively for anyone who listens to Izzy Presley. Thank you.
RockstarLeatherworks.com is your home for badass rock and roll gear. Featuring 100% handmade leather bands, watches, cuffs, bracelets, and more, Rockstar Leatherworks has something for everybody. Whether you are going to the show or you are in it, you can find something to fit your needs. Choose from a variety of designs or create your own masterpiece. Their bands and watches are second to none. They also ship internationally. Who needs a stage to be a rock star? Check out RockstarLeatherworks.com.
Hey ladies, Sass Pants Designs will take that band shirt that everyone has and make it your own in a flattering, sassy, and simple way. There are one-of-a-kind tank tops, halter tops, lace-up tees, and tube top dresses already in stock. Check out the online store at sasspantsrocks.com and like Sass Pants Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for special offers and custom orders. Use the code IZZY25 for 25% off of your entire order at sasspantsrocks.com. That's sasspantsrocks.com. Let Sass Pants make you the envy of the party.
Rockwood Saloon Authentic Apparel takes rock and roll fashion to a new level with their tees and tanks for men and women. They also make custom shirts, jackets, vests, pants, hoodies, beanies, and more. The Rockwood Graphics Department can design anything from your logo, t-shirt design, promo posters, band swag, and printed at great prices. From tour shirts and custom stage gear to killer threads for the street to the stage, Rockwood Saloon has it all. Rockwood Saloon, authentic rock and roll apparel for stage and street. World tour tested for quality, comfort, style, and durability. Check them out at www.rockwoodsaloon.com. That's rockwoodsaloon.com.
A reading from the book of Paul, verse Crazy Nights, chapter Bang Bang You. I'm gonna bang you. I'll shoot you down with my love gun, baby. Praise be to Paul.
Praise be to Mike Dawson.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yay, Mike.
Oh, that's so fucking great. Second half of the show brought to you by A&P Laser, aplasers.com, or is it AP Laser? You'll find it. Mother's Day is coming up. Father's Day is coming up. You need something laser engraved. Get them something special at aplaser.com. And hopefully Oz is off of the mend with the fucking stroke and he can get back to work and we can get the roadie packs rolling again. Rather excited about that. And our good friend John Palumbo at johnpalumbodesign.com. You have a band, you have a website, you need a website done. You need a logo done. You have a business, you need a sign. Hit up John Palumbo, johnpalumbodesign.com. Also, August 6th through the 8th, you will find myself in Nashville at the Rock and Pod Expo. I don't know if Paul's going to go or not, but you know, that invite is there. You know, if you feel like you need to come with us, you are absolutely there. All right. Is this recording? Yes, that is recording. All right. We are getting into the listener.
Get me to go to Nashville.
Yeah, I haven't been to Nashville.
The listener.
Welcome the listener. Our listener, Scotty Strickland, checking in. Naming expos. You forgot Pedro Martinez. You forgot.
How did I forget Pedro?
Oh, you forgot Vlad. You forgot
Larry Walker.
Oh God,
Gary Carter.
Gary Carter. There you go.
Gary Carter was that was
Randy
my
Johnson.
My favorite was Tim.
Yeah.
Tim Raines is a legend.
Oh yeah, The Rock. The Rock, the original Rock.
The original Rock.
Original
before the
Rock.
Yeah.
Scotty, what do you got for us today, buddy?
Wondering if any of you guys got a chance to check out Jericho on the Stone Cold sessions there on the weekend.
I did not get the chance to see that yet because I do not have the WWE network anymore.
Oh,
because they got bought out by
oh, it's on Peacock now down there, isn't it?
Peacock, yeah. So this is the only Stone Cold Steve Austin I got. What? What?
There's actually a funny story how Chris was able to get the crowd to not do what anymore.
Oh, really? He talks about that. Well, don't ruin it for me.
I'm not going into it.
Cool.
I'm just saying that's there. So
all right. Anything else?
No, I just hope you guys are having a blast here. I gotta hop off because a friend of mine is debuting on NXT tonight. So
very nice.
Gotta show some support.
Is Johnny Gargano in NXT?
Yes.
We briefly tried to figure out if we were related, which I'm sure we are at some point somewhere, but yeah, that would be
a fun show.
This
Gargano
was
versus Gargano.
This was long before he got as huge as he is.
Hey, at least there's one famous Gargano.
Exactly.
All right, Scotty, see yourself out. If I knock you out, it's gonna knock you out of all my fucking Zooms. So
all right, let me jump off here.
All right.
And
all right,
take care.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, bye. Yeah, I'm behind. I'm behind on my podcast listening too. I was on Jericho's podcast, I think about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
We taped it a long time ago, but we did Police album, the first 3 Police records.
Oh, nice.
So we did
Very cool.
the first 3 Police records. Yeah. So and I have not even had a chance to listen to it yet. That's pretty much what
I definitely will. Checking in from Brisbane, Australia, weighing in at 273 pounds, the Killer Koala. What's up, Lori? How you doing, buddy?
Hey guys, how you going? Welcome back, Paul. Good to see you, mate.
Lori, good to see you.
Long time listener, first time caller.
First time, long time.
My question for you guys is the new Cheap Trick album. What's your thoughts on it?
Paul, have you had a chance to listen to it?
I have not had a chance to listen to it yet, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie, but it's Cheap Trick, so I'm imagining it's very, very good. They don't do anything bad. They really don't.
I think it goes back to the AC/DC argument. What's it sound like? It sounds like fucking AC/DC. Yeah. That's what it sounds like. It's fucking great. It rules. It rules. It's fucking amazing. I like it better than the AC/DC record.
Izzy does have a great story though about the vinyl version of the album.
Oh yes, the vinyl version. So I drove 45 minutes one way in this horrendous traffic to the valley to go to a locally owned, locally operated fucking record store, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go buy the new Cheap Trick record. Like, well, we only have the CD. I'm like, oh shit. All right. Well, I guess I'll find it somewhere else. So I started Googling as I'm sitting in the parking lot, and I bought a Saigon Kick tape because they had cassettes there.
Wait, which Saigon Kick tape?
The Lizard.
How about this? Do you know about this yet?
No.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
This is Saigon Kick's first album is out on vinyl now.
Oh, badass.
Yeah, it is. It is limited to 900 copies. You can see right there. I was laughing with Chris McClernand about the hype sticker because they're rocking 1991 debut, which, quite frankly, if you gave me 100 words to describe Saigon Kick, rockin' would not be one of them. But that's first time ever on vinyl.
Yeah, badass. What? Badass. Yeah, so then I found out that boom, it doesn't come out till May on vinyl.
A little insider scoop for that. It's because the vinyl plants, the pressing plants, are so far behind. They just can't. They absolutely just can't keep up with demand. They don't have enough staff. They can't. So like literally, we've been talking about like the new Drowning Pool record, and the label we're with says we're going to be able to get, the album will probably be out in fall, but the vinyl won't come out until like next year, early next year, just because they're so clogged up with the the vinyl orders.
Oh,
yeah, that makes sense because everybody's doing vinyl. And I'm gonna say this about vinyl. Thank God vinyl made a comeback, because vinyl actually brought back my love for music.
It has been, I literally grabbed the stack here because when I order quite a bit of vinyl, and it's been stacking, and I have this whole, where I'm in right now is like a vinyl alcove in the back of our living room, and I have a stack of stuff because I file everything and I put it in my Discogs and I have everything, and I haven't had a chance to file anything. So I've got this like big stack of all this vinyl that's arrived over the past couple of weeks when I've been couch ridden, and I haven't really been listening, because when your head gets all congested with the COVID, the last thing you want to hear is music in the background. So it's just like, I've been really falling behind. I got some good stuff though. I can show you. I got the Mike solo record.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Reborn Again, autographed by Michael. Can you see the autograph?
Yep.
Autographed by Michael Sweet. Now, here's the crazy thing about this record that I thought was nuts. He autographed the album, and then they shrink wrapped it after he autographed it.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
That's a really cool thing. Like, I bought the Todd LaTorre version. I bought the autographed Todd LaTorre one, and they just sent him finished product, and he autographed him, and that's how you got it. But this, he actually signed, and then they shrink wrapped it in the sign. So now I kind of don't want to open it.
Nah, that's it. You want to keep it like that.
Yeah. This one I can't wait to bust open. The Black Crowes box set.
Oh, nice. Yep.
The Very Black Crowes box set for Shake Your Moneymaker. So it's like, what is it? It's got the album, plus it's got a live show, rarities. It's insane. It looks really, really cool. So I'm psyched about this. Haven't even had a chance to crack it open yet.
Cool.
Some Detroit metal. Rika's a huge
fan. Seduce.
So we had to get Seduce. Too Much Ain't Enough. Yeah, it's crazy. It's there's a lot of stuff here.
Did you get the new Kotz and Adrian Smith?
I have not gotten that. No.
You will love it.
I've got the Beeler album. The Beeler one came in before I got COVID, so I got that one. I'm waiting on the Ricky Warwick one. I'm waiting on that one. I got an autographed copy of the new Peter Frampton record.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Universal Music, through their website, they were still selling autographed. I actually went on there to see if they had autographed copies of the Paul Stanley record, because I knew Paul Stanley was autographing CDs. I don't know why you would autograph CDs and not vinyl, because honestly, the markup on vinyl is so much better if you autograph it. Like, it just didn't make a ton of sense. But they were doing autographed CDs, not autographed vinyl. But I saw autographed Peter Frampton vinyl. It was like $40 for the new album. It's an instrumental covers record, and he autographs it.
Oh, wow, that's badass.
That's
did
cool.
You order the Wolf Van Halen record yet?
I have not. No, I have not ordered that one yet.
Neither.
Yeah, I've not ordered that one yet. I'm trying to think of what else.
I picked up the Alice Cooper Detroit Stories, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. That's really
good. That was all done in Detroit as well, wasn't it? Everything was Detroit on that album.
Yeah.
Yeah, Detroit's I didn't really know a lot about Detroit other than the fact that, Detroit Rock City, obviously. But then Rika's from, it's like my second home at this point. And there's a lot of great music out of Detroit.
Yeah.
A lot of great music.
Take him to Detroit.
Nice.
It never gets old. We had two people in the waiting room, and they're gone. So Lori, I guess Lori's hanging out with us.
Lori's hanging out. Lori, what's the last record you got?
Actually, I just received it in the mail yesterday. Boston's first debut album.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you get like is it a reissue of it, or did you get like?
No, it's original pressing.
It's an original one you got off like eBay.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, just before that, I got Todd LaTorre's album.
Nice, nice.
Yep. Todd's album's fantastic.
Yes, yes. I have the cassette.
Seriously?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He did cassettes on that. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's it sounds fucking great. It's
Yep.
awesome. It's awesome.
It literally looks like my light is flashing behind me.
Yeah,
I have no
I can
idea.
see
I
it.
have no. I need somebody to explain to me why this happens, and I've
Well,
got to.
I
By
think
next week, I need better lighting.
I think it might be with working with your body movement or something. Is it?
no, it happens when he's not moving as
No,
well.
see, I'm not moving at all right now, and it's doing it. And it's an LED
Oh.
light. The light's not flickering here. It's only on the computer.
You just need a little woman to come in and go, "This house is clear."
I mean, honestly, I
Like
look
coming
better.
out of the walls.
I look better in the dark, so it's really not a problem. But it's driving me crazy.
Speaking of Cheap Trick, Scotty gets to, or Lori gets to see Cheap Trick.
Oh.
Yeah, they're coming next month, or meant to be. So I'm hoping they are coming next month still. And that's with Bush, Stone Temple Pilots, and Rose Tattoo. So it's got to be an awesome little gig.
That's really good. Look at okay, sorry. I'm checking to make sure because I told somebody if he wants to pop in, he could, but I was just waiting to see if I got a text message back.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't think he's going to.
Trick, California, because I think they have a California date coming up too.
Do they?
Yeah. Somebody was on. God damn it. Date.
Yeah, I can't quite remember the date. I think it's pretty sure it's something like the 20 something when they come over here. So they're going to have to quarantine or something like that for a couple of weeks as well before they.
Oh, I suppose.
You know.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
A really good. Speaking of Detroit, like one of my wife's best friends, and he's obviously become a good friend of mine. He's actually done. He's the front of house guy for Cheap Trick. He's their guy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's actually
Badass.
the last time Drowning Pool did military dates, he came out with us. He did front of house for Drowning Pool. So he's
Tuesday, July 13th at the OC Fair, and July 14th at the Pacific Amphitheater in Costa Mesa as well. So 2 California dates.
Those are the same place. That's the same place.
So we're going to see them before you guys.
The PC, the in Costa Mesa is the Orange County Fair.
Oh, very well.
So could they be 2 nights?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it's July
Who are they
13th
with?
and 14th. Doesn't say. Doesn't say. Let's see. Tickets and more. Let's see what this says. Ticketmaster. Let's just out of curiosity here.
Usually the OC Fair does like double billings and stuff. That's
with the Blue Oyster Cult.
nice. I will probably be there. Rico works with them.
Nice. I would like to go to that too.
Oh, that's another of the new albums. It came out last year, but the Blue Oyster Cult, the new Blue Oyster Cult record is fantastic.
Yeah, that is what I have heard. If you are listening and want to get in on this chat, just click that Zoom link. And if you're in the waiting room, just wait, and we'll get to you.
Yeah, kick me out. Get them in.
Well, I'm not going to kick you out, because if I kick you out, then it blocks you from my Zoom.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
So I have to leave.
You have to leave at your own recognizance.
Oh, you could have just said to me, leave.
Oh no, you don't have to leave right now. This is fascinating. Plus, the accent makes me blush.
Oh. Let's say a quick hello, bud.
We have a special guest.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. There she is. What's
Hi.
up, Bridget? How you doing? It's good to see you. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello. Work.
Bunnings, work.
Wait, what time is it there now?
It's 12:05 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And I start.
I never get that right. So you're 12 hours plus another. So you're 17 hours ahead of us.
17 hours in front. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice and hot over here.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in autumn and it's sunny
What
as.
can I look forward to tonight that already happened to you?
Absolutely nothing.
Are the Yankees ever going to win? No.
No.
It's tomorrow there. Did Josh Donaldson actually come off the injured list? What's this?
Yes, he did. I think he played this afternoon.
No, he comes up. He's supposed to come off tomorrow.
Oh, gotcha. Jesus Christ, he's a twin, and I don't even fucking know that.
Yeah.
So here's a great story from today. So I was out working, and I got taken up fucking close to what I call Ensenada, up by like North Sepulveda, Van Nuys Boulevard, up like it's basically Mexico up there, which is fine. Great food. But no, it is. It's very Mexican populated. And they have there's this place that makes these amazing empanadas. And like the crust is kind of sweet, and the chicken, it's not spicy, but it's delicious on the inside. I'm like, ooh, but I need something to dip them in. So I stop, and I think the place is cash only, like all the good places are. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get some of this stuff to dip it in. So I got the jalapeno cheese dip after I drop the person off. Then I go, and I'm the tiny parking lot. There's like trucks trying to back in, and space is this fucking big, and I'm just getting pissed because the ginger age is coming out. Finally get parked. I walk up, the place is closed on Tuesdays.
Oh. You're good at picking them.
Yes, I am.
Damn.
Yes, I am. All right, Lori.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
Lori,
buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking in.
Enjoy your Wednesday.
Will do. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Take care. We'll see you after the show. Yeah, we got nobody in the waiting room. What else is on the docket there, Paulie? What else do you got, bud?
Ooh. Mike Luce from Drowning Pool just texted me. He's trying to troubleshoot the rental room PA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Drowning Pool have a show this weekend in El Paso, so they're rehearsing for the first time in I think 14 months.
Nice.
Like a lot of bands.
we should self-produce on the air since we're here. Drunken Summits upcoming. We do need.
We know we're going to be doing. We have an Iron Maiden one coming up.
Yep.
We know we're going to do round. We're going to try to do round 2 of Kiss.
Yep.
So there's going to be the next 3 albums.
Yes.
It'll be what?
Yes.
It'll be Love Gun, Destroyer, and
Rock and Roll Over.
Rock and Roll Over. So those 3.
We still have to do. We still have to do the Skid Row versus Pantera.
Yep.
And we'll float this with the audience and see what they think. I want to take Tony Garcia joining us. Hold on for a second there, Tony.
Hello, Tony.
Hey.
All right, hold on for a second, bud. I think we do Appetite versus Back in Black, and how we get them to match up is first half of the show we debate which 2 songs come off of Appetite for Destruction to match it up to go 10-10 with Back in Black. I don't know. I think that could be a lot of fun.
Or we could pick 2 songs to add to Back in Black.
From what?
I don't know. That's the whole point.
Oh man, that's interesting.
I kind of feel like it's just you can't take 2 songs off. It's not like there's a God gave rock and roll to you that you could easily just axe and go, okay, Light the World is better now. I mean, taking 2 songs off Appetite for Destruction is like taking 2 songs off the White Album. It's not, I just don't feel good about it.
Yeah, but it'll piss people off.
Well, I mean, we could do that without taking 2 songs off of a Guns N' Roses.
Off the greatest album of all time, bar none. Joining us from Kansas City, Tony Garcia. How you doing, bud? Welcome back to the show.
Hey, how you doing, man? Thanks for letting me come on.
No problem, man. What do you got for us tonight?
Well, listen, I admit I just now read through Facebook, saw what you were doing. I'm going to go back to listen to the show. But since Paul's here, I want to tell you my Gerri Miller story.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I thought it'd be a good tie-in. All right, so let's see. Somewhere in the early part of 98, I lived in LA for a year. Okay. And I was really into seeing the Atomic Punks. This is when Ralph was singing for him, and Bart Walsh, bless his soul, was playing guitar for him. And it was someplace in the valley. And Gerri was there with like 2 or 3 other fucking gorgeous, hot blondes, man. You know, it was just like to the side of me. He said, wow, man, but I looked at this brunette. I said, holy shit, that's Gerri Miller. And this is before cell phone cameras or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I just went up to her. I said, oh my God, are you Gerri Miller? And she just looked at me and said, yeah. I said, you helped decorate my bedroom. I said, your magazine had the best pictures, especially like the bands that were up and coming. You gave them, all kinds of exposures. Like I said, I learned about, I had pictures of Striper. I was just naming all these bands. And all this other shit. I said, this was like in the mid 80s. And she just looked at me and she goes, yeah, that sounds about right. That's what she said. That's what she said. She was being, kind of modest. I said, I just want to thank you. And I remember her beautiful green eyes, and says, hey, I just thank you. And she was really cool, man. She was, you're so welcome. What's your name again? And I says, yeah. And that was it.
Tony, since you bring up, bands that you heard about, I mean, what do you remember some of the bands that you got exposed to because of Metal Edge magazine?
Well, what I liked about Metal Edge is I thought that they had better pictures than what you could find in Circus, maybe Hit Parader, but they were more geared towards what I was into, like that particular era. Now Rip, they went more the harder edge, and I got into that too, but for some reason she just had better pictures, man. I can find, like I said, I decorated my wall with her stuff, man. And it also gave me, like, the crew really let me down during Theater of Pain. So her magazine really kind of let me know that maybe this band isn't yours anymore, Tony. It's time to move on to something else. You know? So because I was just kind of, what I mean? I can't explain it, but other than she's missed, that era's missed. But where it's taken off now, and you're giving Izzy, a medium. And I'm look, Paul, I'm kissing your ass here right now.
Thank you.
But really,
I showered right before the podcast, so
you picked a great person in Izzy, and to continue the motion. This guy moved from Minnesota on a whim. Share me the story that he was sitting on the Lemmy chair when he said, fuck it, I'm moving here.
Yeah, absolutely true.
And he keeps working it. And despite COVID, that he's not able to do the live, the jam session, he still found a way to make, to keep it going, to keep the interest going. And you provided that venue for him. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you. No, that's I said earlier. That was one of the things I was really he had me on as a guest several times early in COVID, and I really enjoyed doing the show. I mean, it was a lot of fun, and I was like, this is an opportunity to actually elevate him to another level too, and get in front of a wider audience because he deserves it.
Yeah, so true. And I will say this: Izzy helped make me famous.
Hey, there you go.
And please, by all means, please keep kissing Paul's ass, because obviously I don't do it enough. Apparently.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I'm trying, like, one of the things I can tell you based on like what you were saying about like the pictures in Metal Edge. I mean, one of the things that was different, Circus, as I recall, was a lot more into live photography. A lot of live. They were very live. They were in, and Hit Parader used a lot of stock photography. They weren't really paying. They were using a lot of like promo shots. The thing about Hit Parader that Andy did very, very well, he put the magazine together without spending a lot of overhead. He would use record label photos, record label bios. He basically like rewrote bios and stuff. He didn't have a big cost expenditure. Metal Edge spent a lot of money on photos. They really did.
Yeah.
Always, Anna Maria DeSanto was kind of Jerry's right arm. I mean, she did all the photos for her. And he took a lot of photos. They did photo shoots, and that was one of the things, because Metal Edge was so photo heavy, we got access to bands in that regard that a lot of other magazines didn't get. So that's why I think the photos were so good. Plus we had, Mark Weiss, Niels Lozauer, Gene Ambo, I mean, there were so many, just Glenn LaFerman, so many great photographers that were just contributing. The amount of money that I would spend on photos, and even when I was there with Gerri, I was in charge of all the money. The money we were spending on photos just far eclipsed everything else. I mean, it was crazy we were spending.
Well, but that's the thing is, though, is that you present something in such a professional way, you know, and especially in a way that nobody else is doing. I mean, it's worth that money that you're spending because it really makes you stand out.
And that was part of the things with like posters and stuff, you know. It was, you know, finding out, you know, and it was a lot of trial and error, like but posters sold the magazine. We knew they did. And one idea I had was to make the posters bigger. And we made later in I'm like, look, people like the posters. And the reality is, if you're going to sell a magazine for $4.99, you know, a poster itself is worth $5. So like, this is something that we can do and have really cool, you know, that's something that sets us a 12-page fold-out poster. But it's, we did very, very big on the photography, and I was very big on not wanting to use, and you know, you had your, you know, when you do I did a 9 Inch Nails cover story at one point, and 9 Inch Nails, we weren't getting a photo shoot with 9 Inch Nails, so we used, but you get exclusives from the record label. But there were a lot of big bands that we got stuff with, and Gerri she really got unprecedented access to a lot of these bands. It was funny, you were talking about her being with two beautiful blondes. I'm imagining they were probably girlfriends of musicians, because she was friends with a lot of them, which is one of the ways she was able to get a lot of the stuff she got. You know, when you baby pictures, I've had musicians tell me they never even gave Gerri the baby pictures that appeared in the magazine. And it's
wow.
Just, she was friends with so many wives and girlfriends, she was able to get access to that stuff. So
I have one question. I can't remember, but wasn't Metal Edge at the end would show pictures of fans with rock stars that people mailed in?
That's the mailbag section.
Yeah, you know what? Well, she helped spark my interest in doing that, because at a young age, I started getting pictures with rock stars. I never submitted to the magazine, but that's why you'll see me pictures with, you know, the guys in the Crew or Blackie or, you know, just a bunch of Armored Saint. You know, I was a young kid, but I got pictures with them, you know? So she helped. Maybe she planted the seed. I don't know.
It's interesting because I never, ever, I'm a huge music fan. I mean, it got me through life. I love it. And I never really thought of taking pictures with all these musicians. And it was something she made me do when I started at the magazine. She's like, well, I need pictures for the editor's page, and you're one of the editors. So, you know, make sure you get a picture. And I always felt uncomfortable asking.
Yeah.
Crazy. I felt really uncomfortable. It was just like, I felt like I was inconveniencing them asking for photos. And I also thought it was like an encroachment on my professionalness. You know, because I have a hardcore news background, and I interviewed Bill Clinton. I interviewed huge athletes. You don't ask for stuff like that. You know, it was when I worked for the Associated Press, you weren't allowed to ask Brett Favre for an autograph. It was just, you interview Brett Favre, you do your thing. Izzy, you know that. So it's like, I felt it was unprofessional for me to ask the Warrant guys for a picture, but Gerri really, she was like, she wanted it. That was a big part of the magazine, and I get it. And I'm really grateful for that now, because I just go back, I'm constantly finding photos from back then, and I'm like, you know, here's a picture of me with the Warrant guys, and it's just so nice that I have those pictures with Janie, because I was good friends with Janie, and I love Janie, and it's like, I just wasn't a photo guy, so she kind of made me do that. And
here's a good story about that. When I was covering the Wild, I did an interview with Mark Parrish after he got bought out from the Wild, and he was playing with Dallas, and it was his first time back in town with a different team. So, you know, I went in, I got the interview, yada, yada, yada. And I'm walking out, I'm talking to the Dallas PR guy. I'm like, so how do I get a pic? He goes, like, I mean, we need a pic for the article. You know, I need a picture for the article. He's like, we don't really do that. I'm like, what do you mean you don't really do that? I mean, we need photos for the article. He's like, I mean, I suppose that's fine. I mean, you want me to take the pic? I'm like, no, I need an actual picture of him in a Dallas Stars uniform for the article. He's my friend, you idiot.
Yeah, it's crazy. But like, I'm surprised he couldn't just give you those. Like I did a one-off issue. I'm a huge, as I've mentioned, I'm a huge baseball fan, and I'm a huge fantasy baseball player. And I did one year. This was after Gerri was gone. I did my brother and I did a fantasy baseball guide, and it was a really good, we did a really good job on it. We did regional covers. So like the New York version had A-Rod on the cover. Like we had different covers for each of the, 4 parts of the country. And it was great. We just called all the baseball teams, and they just literally sent us envelopes of slides.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Once he figured out what I wanted, he's like, "Oh yeah, here."
He thought you meant gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, he thought I meant like a fan photo. But it's funny, man. There's some times, I look back, and there's some times where I wish there was a photographer with me, taking photos of me doing it. When I'm with Mike Badano, or when I had my one-on-one with 99 with Wayne Gretzky, or Justin Morneau or Joe Mauer, like I had relationships with these guys. So it would be easy to get an interview, and, interviewing fucking Justin Morneau in the Twins dugout, after BP, it's like, shit like that. It's like, it'd be kind of cool to have a picture of me doing that. I only have one photo, doing anything like that. And that was when, Dallas was in town, and Shane Churla, who's a former North Star, is the reason I wear number 27. He's a scout. At the time, he was a scout for the Dallas Stars. So I was doing a little 2-minute thing with him, and I was just geeking out inside. And my buddy that was working with me snapped a photo. So I've got a picture of me interviewing Shane Churla.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's
all right. Hey, brother, I'm going to be taking off. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Tony, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate the input on the show and the question.
Thanks, Tony.
It's really nice to meet you, Paul. Thanks again.
Are you a Royals fan?
You know what, brother? That's why I'm dropping off.
Fan?
That's why I'm dropping off. I'm not much of a sports fan, even though our Chiefs, won, and then the Royals, and I'm just going to be nice. I'm a fair weather fan.
Yeah, your Chiefs didn't win this year because the greatest of all time, Daddy, woo, Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The only touchdown the Chiefs made when they landed at the airport.
Yeah, exactly.
So
all
anyway,
right, Tony.
Great. We'll come back on. We'll talk music sometime.
I will, brother. Bye now. Take care.
Thanks for sharing Gerri's story.
Yeah, I like that. That was good. That was good. So I don't know. Should we wrap this up? And
yeah,
then,
I think people don't need to hear that much more from us. We'll.
I figured this would be an hour-long show. We're at an hour and 24. So I think we did pretty well.
Yeah,
did pretty well. Great. Welcome back. Thank you.
Next week we'll have guests lined up for next week, and we'll get back to normal. This was our ease back in.
Ease on back in, with no lube. That's not easy. All right, let me hit the outro music. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you do check out all the social media at Real Lizzie Presley all the way across the board, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Most importantly, Metal Edge Magazine on Facebook and on Instagram. You can find the show page at Another Effin' Podcast. And what else? T-shirts. I've got no Metal Edge merch available yet. That will be coming at some point. But old school Another Effin' Podcast T-shirts. I don't want your fucking CD. What else do we got? Van Hagar rules. Deal with it. Shit like that. Go find it. Teespring. You know where to go. Hit that shop now button on the Facebook pages. All right, Paul Gargano.
Izzy Presley.
Izzy fucking Presley. And this has been Metal Edge Magazine's Another Effin' Podcast. It is just going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing. Much like my hemorrhoids.
I was going to throw that's what she said, but...
Yeah, that's what she... Yeah, oh, hold on. Stop the press. We've got one more that wants to talk.
Uh-oh.
We might as well take it.
Yeah, do it.
Come on. Did he leave? All right. Well, I guess he's gone. Sorry, Aaron. I clicked to get you back in the room, but there it is. We'll see you next week. Paul Gargano. My name is Izzy Presley. And who knows, maybe I'll get bored and fire the Zoom up later. right, I say good day to you, sir.
Good day, Izzy.